Over 500 people attended this year's Spring Seasonings, a Taste of Our Towns event at the Boston Marriott Newton, put together for the 28th time by the Charles River Regional Chamber.
It is one of our most well-attended events of the year. Everyone loves it, and I think it's great to have bring the restaurants together, even to meet each other. There's so many great connections that are made here, and then of course there's the food, so you can't go wrong.
Attendees were able to sample over 40 different local restaurants from Newton, Needham, Watertown, Wellesley, and the new addition of Brookline.
We added Brookline. We're really excited about it. We have Lamora and Punch Bowl from Brookline here, for example. But I imagine next year there's going to be even more. But we're really excited. We think it's a great opportunity to expand our reach, expand our advocacy and everything. And yeah, that does mean more restaurants too.
Owner of two of Brookline's restaurants, Lamora and Punch Bowl, a modern city tavern, Jenn Ziskin, who has been actively involved with the Charles River Regional Chamber under Mass Restaurants United, is happy to showcase her two restaurants this year.
My husband opened Lamora 22 years ago. He always wanted to open an Italian restaurant. We lived in Lamora, a little village in Italy. So we've been running it together for 22 years. And then 5 years ago, the hotel was opening up down the street, and they came to us. They were like, would you like to open a restaurant in our hotel? And we decided that would be a great addition to our community. So that was Punch Bowl was born.
Their signature dishes have customers returning regularly.
So at Lamora, it's the bolognese, like hands down. You can't leave there without getting our tagliatelle bolognese. Tom Brady used to say it was his favorite dish when he lived down the street. And Punch Bowl, we do a lot with like raw bar. We have oysters every day between 3 and 6 for $1.25. And I love the seafood, amazing steak and chicken, great burger, pizza, so you can't go wrong at either place.
Two employee-owned restaurants under the Newport Restaurant Group participated in this year's Spring Seasonings event and showcased a few options for attendees to try.
Tonight we've got a spring vegetable caponata with some asparagus, some cherry tomatoes, some spring onions, a little bit of olive oil, and then some stracciatella cheese, which is like the gooey part of the inside of a burrata. So just the best bit, and right on some grilled French bread. Try and keep things, new items going onto the menu every 6 to 8 weeks or so. Keep things interesting, keep things seasonal.
So the cauliflower is one of our most popular dishes. We've been actually serving this at some of the tastings previously in the past, and the guest feedback has been awesome.
Mita has 4 locations around the Boston area, including one in Newtonville. 2 event managers from Mita served orange creamsicle gelatos in a mini cone and spoke about their signature dishes.
Our most popular is probably the gnocchi cacio e pepe. It's a ricotta gnocchi, so it's not as heavy as a traditional potato gnocchi, and that's probably both the employee's favorite and a fan favorite in the restaurant.
Sensational Foods in Watertown has been in business for over 20 years and serves thousands of people each year through their catering services.
We specialize, most of our clients, both corporate plus social, weddings, bar mitzvahs, baby showers, any event. We do a lot of custom menus. These are some of our offerings from our spring menu. We have watermelon gazpacho, almond crunch salad, and we just love strawberries and chocolate, so we do these year round.
Thistle and Leek in Newton Center opened its doors during the COVID pandemic, and chef owner Trevor Smith is thankful to have had the Chamber's help along the way.
We opened up in September of 2020. We signed the lease in early March of 2020, and we survived 2 years of COVID, being a brand new restaurant that could not fill its seats the way we intended. It's pretty great being here at a Chamber event tonight. The Chamber actually was one of our rocks that we held on to during the first couple years we were open. Greg Reben, the president of the Chamber, put together a weekly phone call between other restaurant owners in the Chamber, and having that support and camaraderie during that extraordinary period for restaurants, I think honestly was one of the things that helped us really stay open.
Another is the signature dish they prepared for the attendees.
Curried lamb meatballs we have here tonight. This has been on since day one. It harkens back to a time when I worked in the UK and really fell in love with curry, so I always knew something was going to be a signature dish in the curry world for our restaurant, and this is where we are.
Black and Blue Steak and Crab Restaurant has 5 locations, 3 in New York, 1 in Burlington, and since 2024, 1 in Wellesley.
We had regulars by week 2, and there are just more by now. We are so happy. The reception in the Wellesley community has been so warm and so welcoming. We couldn't be happier with how it went.
And showcased one of their signature dishes.
Is our crab and lobster fondue. It really strikes the balance between rich, decadent, but also beautifully light and salty and craveable. Definitely shareable appetizer. You've got fresh butter poached Maine lobster, lump blue crab, Parmesan fontina, white cheddar, a mascarpone-filled popover pastry, and toasted pita chips to dip in it. Truly, if you're brave, you can do it by yourself, like me, but it has beaten many a great appetites, definitely made to share with friends and partners.
Co-owner of Bettina's Bakery, Bettina Samama, has been in the baking industry for 30 years, and 5 years ago started her own bakery with a partner from Honduras. Each bring their own expertise to the table, with customers returning to enjoy their signature dishes.
I would say the conchas are our signature pastry. It's a Central American pastry. It's a sweet bread. It's a yeasted bread with a crunchy cinnamon sugar topping called a concha, which is shell in Spanish, made to look like a shell. I love our Streuselkuchen, crumb cake, which is also from Germany. We have an amazing schnitzel sandwich for lunch that I couldn't bring because that has to be cooked to order. We have Honduran tacos for lunch too, that we make ourselves.
Now in its 58th year serving the local community, Joe Prestigion of Cabot's Ice Cream and Restaurant is happy to have been a part of Spring Seasonings since day one.
A lot of memories at Cabot's, a lot of ice cream smiles have happened, and that's what we're all about, creating ice cream smiles.
Showcasing local restaurants for the community to sample is the goal of the event for the Chamber.
This segment does so much for our communities. It's one of the most common segments that everyone frequents, and when people think about a small business, they often think about a restaurant. So to be able to showcase their talents to the rest of the community, that's what it's all about.
Supporting local businesses is one of the biggest takeaways that now former Director of Member Success for the Chamber, Maxim Isaac, will bring with him to his new job as Community Relations Coordinator at the Village Bank.
I'll be supporting the bank and making sure that the bank's relationships in the community grows, especially they're opening their Wellesley and Needham location soon. So it's new territory, so it's going to be more connections. But thankfully, I'm already part of those communities with the chambers, so it's going to be seamless and more fun and exciting with the collaborations.
If you missed this year's Spring Seasonings, a Taste of Our Towns event, it will happen again next year with perhaps more restaurants to sample. Jenn Adams, News, Auburndale.